E.Honda just came out a couple of days ago, and I've now had a chance to play him a few times, and I just wanted to talk him up because I love it. He is such a fun, interesting character. He's not like what I thought necessarily, but I like him a lot. Let me bring up the stick here. And then turn this guy on. Bam. What I wanted from Honda before he came out was that he would be a defensive powerhouse. That's what I was like hoping for. Anyway, what I wanted from him was for him to be like a defensive powerhouse, because I feel like that doesn't really exist in the game. He's not that. He's not this defensive powerhouse. I thought that'd be cool. Like, I still hope that they do that at some point. They won't. I'm sure they won't now. But I think that's like a good archetype to have. There's a lot of like, there's a lot of offensive characters in this game. There's some zoners. There's not a lot of like fortresses. There's like Guile maybe. And even he in many matchups is not a fortress. I feel like that's a good like character archetype to have, but whatever. They haven't done it. So when I found out that he wasn't gonna be that way, I was like ready to be disappointed. I was ready to be bummed out that he would not be that way, but it turns out that I really like him, and I still think he's sort of that way. He's not. So he in the Street Fighter V context, he kind of is that way. He's not a wake-up defensive character. That is to say, he doesn't have a fast button. His fastest is 4 frames, and it's this little dinky dude. So this is pretty short range. And then these are 5. Jabs are 5 frames. So he's got slow buttons, comparatively speaking. And he doesn't have anything that's instantly invincible. He doesn't have like a wake-up dragon punch or flash kick or anything like that. So he's not there. But in terms of keeping people out, I think he actually is really good at that. I think he's really good at keeping people out. So when I've seen people talk about him so far, a lot of people are talking about him as being lacking defensively, but I think that that's just not the full picture. Even before showing this, I mean, just to keep prattling a little bit, remember when G came out and a bunch of people said things like his defense is too bad to be effective. I heard that a lot. I heard a lot of people saying that his defense was too weak, and that although sure he had all these other advantages, good offense, snowballed well, great mid-range, good anti-air, like he has a lot of stuff, but his defense sucks, so he's gonna suck. I remember a lot of people saying that, and that is not true. He's very good. And I remember when Abigail came out, oh man, he doesn't have anything invincible. He has only a 4 frame short, and then his jabs are 5. Wow. Sure, he's got great offense and good mid-range, but his defense is too bad. He's gonna suck. Not accurate. There's more to defense, and there's more to the game than just like whether you have a 3 frame button or if you have a wake up, if you have an invincible move. Those are very helpful. And those are certainly important tools for the characters that have them. But there's more to the game than just that. And I hope that people have gotten to a place now where we can say things like that. G, I think, actually has reasonable defense considering his tools. The fact that a button like stand short kind of sucks his hurt box back and will counterpoke things, important. Same with Laura, right? Laura does the same thing. And he has great anti-air, so he can keep people out, so they're not even on him in the first place. There's more to it than that. And I think that Honda is the same kind of defensive character, to the extent that he plays defense. When he plays defense, it's not that he's not waking up next to you feeling confident. No, if you knock him down, he's in trouble. No doubt about it. That said, I think it's tough to knock him down for a lot of characters. I just think he's got a lot of stuff going for him that I really like. I think that his anti-air is legit. Oh no, it lost the first time that I tried it. That's actually hilarious. But I think that fierce headbutt is really strong. Oh yeah, you can't do it too late. What I like about this is that if you air on the side of being too early, then that's fine. Because you're like sort of Q dash punch out of there. I used to do this all the time playing Third Strike. This is like an important defensive tool for Q. Oh, I'm out of here. And it's easy. You don't have to think about it, right? You air on the side of early and then you're gone. I really like that. Headbutt is a good anti-air, yes. Now, from my experience so far, I would say that Fierce is actually the better anti-air. Anyway, what you want to do is do the Fierce one early. That way you either anti-air underneath or you're just gone. Like, it doesn't matter if Nikali does a dive kick, because you're out of there. It doesn't matter if Akuma throws a fireball, you're just gone, right? Like, if they stay up in the sky, you're just out of there. Who cares? If you need to, you just do EX, and EX is, I feel like that's good damage for its usage. 140 damage in that situation is great. Fierce headbutt, EX headbutt, I think are really good. And I actually like Fierce and Roundhouse a lot as anti-air. I think these are good buttons. And then a little further away, Roundhouse. Yeah, there you go. So there's this range where a lot of people, in many matchups, oh, I guess I should be Ryu actually. In many matchups, you feel comfortable jumping from a little bit further away than that. So you may feel comfortable, like this is like a spot you can jump, right? So let me set this up. All right, so you may jump like here, and a lot of characters can't really deal with that. I mean, it's not actively causing them problems, but like they're not gonna. Oh no, I picked my own range wrong. It's like right here. Yeah, a lot of characters can't easily anti-air right there. Part of why I think that characters like Abigail are strong defensively, that they're not actually weak defensive characters, is that they do anti-air at like half screen, and Honda Roundhouse does the same thing. And it's not just Roundhouse, right? Like this thing anti-airs. I so far have gotten a lot of people. I'm just gonna turn them on neutral jump now. I've gotten a lot of people with just this. Like we're like right here. You know, a classic thing to do if you're against somebody who has good anti-air in the normal anti-air column is to neutral jump so that they overcommit to something, and you land, and then now it's your turn. You probably won't get a punish. Sometimes. Depends on the character. But usually not. Instead, it'll be like frame advantage for you. We've been doing that forever in fighting games. But this guy actually can beat that easily. His column of sky that he controls defensively is actually really long. It's not, like I said, many characters, it's like, this is like the defense, even like Dragon Punch characters, like the defense anti-air column is like here. It's like a character away, maybe a little bit further than that. For Honda, it's way farther. It's like, you're out here. You know, if you see somebody jumping from full screen, right, you can definitely anti-air them. Nice. That's something that is pretty unique, and I like a lot. So I feel that he actually does have a lot of good defensive tools that I really like. Oh, wrong one, that's right. Another one that I like is G-ish, Laura-ish. It's not as strong because his short doesn't go as far forward, but it does kind of pull his hitbox back in a little bit of a way, and you know, you're doing it into headbutt, right? So stand short into headbutt. Now I think it's not as strong. Like Laura's is safe always. G's has great range and you can make it safe. Strong headbutt, not the same way, but I like that it has the same idea. Right, same with crouching jab. It's the same kind of thing. So I was playing against the Zangief a lot. Played against Dr. Stance, a SoCal Geef player, pretty good. And Geef is doing a lot of crouching jab. Geef is doing a lot of standing strong. And I play Geef, right? So I know that most characters, when they're contesting those buttons, it's about whiff punishing. It's about getting there preemptively. But if Geef presses crouching jab at the right time, he beats almost everything outside of like the priority system stuff. Excellent hitbox. Stand strong with Geef. Excellent hitbox. I was counter poking that stuff a lot with like crouching jab, and stand strong, and crouching strong. I think these buttons are really good. They have their stop signs. You know, they're really good stop signs for that stuff. And in the same way as that Geef will press stand strong to like open you up. It's not about a combo necessarily. It's about making you stop pressing buttons. He does that. And I think Honda does the same thing. So I think he controls this really long column of anti-air space. And it's really good. Dude, I'm surprised at how strong this is as it's hitting as well. This is not... I did not have an expectation that would really hit people out of the sky very well. I mean, it has in the past, but it's not... Like it's good, right? And it juggles up there. I really like that. Now, it's not going to beat somebody who does a jumping normal. At least not in my experience so far. Maybe I've been playing against particular characters, but that's not what it's about. What I like this for is for chasing people who are worried about command grab. I like having the threat of my anti-air being the screen. Like, it's so far. Let's see if I can... There's a timing in here. Oh, well, whatever. Maybe I'm just a pixel away. But you get the point. There's like this half screen range where butt slam can knock people out of the sky. There's even further where this is a knockdown. And when that knocks down, you get pressure afterward. So I think that he converts these defensive opportunities into offense pretty well, which I really like as well. So I really like that defensive aspect of his game. Again, like if you get knocked down, you're in trouble. So when I was playing against Stance and I played against other people as well, I've been playing online a little bit. Certainly if he gets knocked down, he's in trouble. Doesn't have anything that's invincible immediately. His fastest armored move is 3 frames. This is unthrowable, but that's pretty limited in scope for how you're going to use it. However, what I would say is that I think that he's one of the better characters at getting out of the corner. So it's not, you know, part of why I feel that Rashid is so strong is that he has mobility to escape the corner, and he's got a great hitbox in doing it. His wall jump stuff is really good. It's the same with a couple other characters who have that. If you have that mobility, then being cornered is not as bad for you as for most other characters in the game. And I feel that Honda's the same kind of way. So this is not plus or anything like that, but it's a way to get out of there. If you do EX, you can pivot it a little bit and make it cross up or not, depending on where the opponent is. It's plus if you do it from the front, not from the back. Yeah, Zeku is another wall jump character for sure. I think that the ability to attack while getting out of the corner is really nice. So again, if you get knocked down, it sucks, but I do still think have important tools that make it so that you're not actually that assed out. It would have been cool if they had given him just like straight up invincible headbutt. You know what I mean? Like I said, I wanted him to be this defensive fortress. But I understand why they didn't in the context of this game and the other tools that they gave him, because he has, I think, excellent tools to keep people from getting in the first place. And then if they do knock him down, if they are in, then I think he's got great tools to get out of there. I really like I said, stand short as a way to like beat people trying to shimmy or something like that. I think that's cool. I definitely think he has some stuff that I like. EX headbutt is not invincible. No, definitely they can hit you out of it. So it's the same idea as with somebody who is trying to wall jump out of the corner. We're talking about Zeku or Rashid or whatever. There's this vulnerable part. It's not like some invincible tool. But as the attacker, you can't always be right there. You have to, you gotta mix up your timings, whatever it is. And an additional tool in the tool bag of the defensive player with an option like that is that they can get out. So whereas many characters would just have to jump, oh no, it's a big jump, there's not a great attack on the way, right? This is an attack on the way. I like it. It actually attacks. It's really cool. Or that was supposed to be EX, sorry. I think that's really useful. Right, like there's a range right there where it's ambiguous whether it's gonna cross up or not. There are some characters in the game who like to pressure using fireballs. and they like to keep you there. And I think this guy's going to be pretty good at dealing with that. I'm not sure whether this is that great. I'm not, you know, is this the important tool? Like, probably not. But the fact that this is armored on the 3rd frame, and so far it's at least traded with everything I've tried, unless I'm like out here. But it's really good at knocking people down, or at hitting people who are trying to pressure with fireballs. So it's definitely not the case of like old Honda times where Ryu gets you into the corner, you know, and he's like here, or maybe a little bit further, probably here-ish. Let's see, like there, and he's like harassing you with fireballs, and then if you jump, here-ish, if you jump, then he anti-airs. It's not like that. If he throws a fireball here, you get one of these guys, and it's easy to react. It's not like a preemptive thing. You got plenty of time. That's cool. I feel like these are ways to like instantly turn defense into offense, right? I think that's really useful. So yeah, I'm really happy with him defensively, with the caveat that this is an SF5, which is not primarily a defensive game. So this would not have been, he would not have been Super Turbo Honda, even SF4 Honda, where stuff was invincible, truly invincible. This is not that, but in the SF5 context, I think that he is pretty good defensively. He has these defensive tools. I mean, if you have this guy going, this is an armored grab. Let me turn the thing back on. I think this is not super important defensively. Oh yeah, but you know, it's a defensive tool. Alright, so you can grab people. Yeah, you gotta do it pretty early to guarantee it. Otherwise they can jump out or Dragon Punch or something. So I think this is probably not like super important, but there are situations where I'm gonna find it useful for sure. So it's the same kind of situations where I'd use armor for Geef. Not exactly true, because Geef you use it on Wake Up. But in terms of neutral, you know, I'm looking to react to a Urian knee drop. I'm looking to react to a Urian chariot tackle. I'm looking to react to a Balrog dash punch. Like things like that prevent the opponent from mounting their offense. So I do think that it's useful for that stuff. For a while I played G using only V-Trigger 2, which is the same idea. It's a very similar tool. And you know, you can combo into it. You can also use it just in neutral and it'll have armor and you can grab. It's a very, very similar idea. So for a while I used that, and there were definitely situations I used it. Cami dive kick. Things that have a little bit more time, a little bit more delay. So I still think that stuff good, or that stuff is good. And whereas G, his command grab V-trigger, like it's over after that. This guy always puts you in the corner from anywhere, which I think is actually kind of cheap, to be honest. Doesn't matter where you are on screen, he will run to the nearest corner. It's just like Meat Squasher in Third Strike and SF5 and wherever else, SF4, wherever Hugo's been. You know, it's Maxima, right? It's the same kind of command grab stuff. And that's really useful because it's yet another way that you turn defense into offense. Like it's immediately your turn. And you get a crazy strong situation right here. Let me turn this on. You are plus what? Double digits, I think? I think it's double digits. But you get all the time in the world. Right? I mean, you get whatever you want, whatever. Right, you can whiff a whole fierce first. So it's super your turn, and you're right next to them, you know, you can do a command grab, you can do a regular grab, you can tick, you can pressure, whatever you want is right there. I really like this. I think that's really strong. Anyway, I just wanted to talk up his defense. I like Honda's defense. It's cool. And it's the kind of defense that, like with G, is not about up close defense. If you're knocked down, then you've screwed up. But the game, I think, gives you enough tools to not often be knocked. It's like G. Like G has so much going for him. If you get him knocked down, then he's in trouble. But why would he get knocked down? Like, he just has great anti-air, great buttons, a lot of pressure, great fireballs. If he levels up at all, he does incredible damage. Like, don't get knocked down. That's your bad. And I feel the same way about Honda. Honda's probably not as oppressive as G. But I do think that he has a lot of stuff going for him, enough that you just probably shouldn't get knocked down very often. So it's been fun for me to play Honda so far because he is so much slower paced. It's just a cool change of pace, you know what I mean? So in some matchups that I played so far, so I should say I played Super Turbo Honda. He was one of my main characters in that game, and I really liked him. And part of why I really liked him was that he had such different matchups. There are matchups where he was a defensive wall. You're just hanging out. I mean, as Honda, literally this was your game plan. Walk back, headbutt, right? Ochio throw defensively, like very slow, patient, wait for them to come to you. And then there were other matchups where he had to get in, and he had to use all of his various tools and walk and block a lot, and he had to really thread the needle against fireball characters. And then there were funky matchups, like weird matchups, like versus Vega, which was kind of weird, versus Boxer was kind of weird. What I mean by weird is just that like he had to play, Dalsum is another one. They're not exactly like the same get-in matchups as like Ryu, DJ, Guile, and they're definitely not the stay away, stay at home sort of things as like a Cammy or a Faye. You have to kind of play this weird, you're walking around a little bit, you're doing a lot of hands in some of those matchups, you're using unorthodox jump timings. Like, I really liked his variety, is really what it came down to. I really liked the variety of playing Honda. Now, it would have been nice if his matchups weren't horrible, you know? But that's how it was, and so I really like that playstyle. In this game, he has that to a degree. It's not as stark, but again, it's SF5. It's not the same game as ST. It shouldn't be. There's no way people would put up with the stuff that's in the game nowadays. Understandably, rightfully so. So he has this kind of style where in some matchups, so far I play very slowly. I'm waiting for anti-air. I'm hanging out. Every once in a while, I'll put hands out or whatever it is. Every once in a while, I'll put a max range forward roundhouse out, something like that, right? Very rare. I'm not trying to be active. In other matchups, I have to get in. I'm moving forward, and he has, to talk about that stuff, really good. Maybe not really good. He has tools to get in. I really like the pressure game that he has. So I think that it's like fun to walk around trying hands. There's good damage and stun out of them. They're plus on block on strong and jab. This is +2, +1 on strong. I really like that. That it's like fun. And so far I've seen a lot of people using jab hands because it's +2, that's cool. I like strong because this is fierce. They're certainly different, but in the heat of the moment, I feel like there's a little bit less, it's not as visually obvious as the difference between this and this. That's obviously jab hands, right? There's no mistaking it. So I like doing strong as well because it's, I feel like it's a way to steal a turn sometimes. That's more effective against characters who have 4-frame jabs, but I still think that's cool. He definitely does chip damage, dude. For sure. This is not like a Zangief character. Command grab is fine, but it doesn't leave you right up close. And when he first came out, before I had really put time into him, I saw people talking about how his command grab doesn't leave him, he doesn't get Oki afterward. It's true. He gets Oki, of course, after this one, right? But after regular Ochio, no, he does not. But that really plays in his archetype, don't you think? I like that a lot. Because it leaves him at this range where you can't jump. You definitely can't jump here. This is +9, but it's +9 at a range where there's not much you do. You know what I mean? Yeah, look at this. Like, you're now the defensive fortress again. It's like the perfect spot for defensive Honda. It's cool. So he has a couple cross-ups, right? But this one is a 12 frame startup air attack. The first several times I used it, I was like, wow, this button, there's no hitbox on it, right? Look at this. Oh, okay, now it's working, but I was, yeah, there it was. I was pressing it too late because I was using like the normal cross-up splash timing. It's a little earlier than that you have to press it, but it is a good button if you do it slightly earlier. Yeah, the first time I did it, I was like, what? I thought this was supposed to be a cross-up. It always is. But that's all. You just have to do it at a little different timing. As far as mix-ups go, so he's definitely got some cool set play. I haven't put a lot of time into that stuff yet, though. I've seen it out there. People might have just earlier today seen Javits put up like super easy set play stuff. It was just crouching short, jab, EX hands, activate, fierce hands into this, right? And then Rashid did a wake up EXDP, and then Honda just punished with this, and he was stunned. This character does a lot of stun. Right, and then if that had been counter hit, right, he was stunned, and that's like immediate. That's so fast. All right. Wow, that's cheap, right? Jeez. That's super practical, right? Like that will happen a lot. All you need to do is have V-trigger ready and 1 bar. Because then when you're doing the combos, you build an entire another bar. You wanna play Third Strike? Let's play Third Strike. This morning, Javits put out that tweet that was like, here's what you can do. And yesterday, I did it. Like I think it was a Lucia, and I jumped over whatever it was, and I just did like, nah. And then she did wake up DP, and I was like, nah. And she died. Right? Like, wow. So I've already done it without any, like, it's not particular tech, it's not like a particular setup. It's just a normal hit confirm. Just a normal hit confirm that you can do from crouching short. It doesn't need to be like jump roundhouse. It's crouching short. And if they then do a wake up DP, you will stun them. This is coming to come up. Yeah. Anyway, so this guy's definitely gonna kill people, and when he does these things in V-Trigger 2, which is all I'm playing, whenever you find a hit wherever you are on literally the entire screen, out of anything, right? A jab, doesn't matter. You always get the corner with this excellent situation right here. Always. There's no way to not get it. And that's really good. Now, on the one hand, so say it's the second one that you use. So you've used one. All right, wherever you are. Now that's it. You don't have it anymore? Whatever, you do this, I don't know. You have the corner, and now you have the option to go in. You can if you want, but you could also just play like defensive zoning Honda. You could just go back, and now the opponent has to get on you after you have dealt a lot of damage and corner carry and blown up whatever they had before. I think he's really good. Does headbutt go through projectiles? It's really easy to react. The armor activates on the 3rd frame. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he has this. Nah. I don't know if this matters. The V-skill. This guy. Here's what I've been using that for. I've been using this like a Guile Sobat kick. Or Bazooka-ni, maybe better. It's just a way to move forward while holding charge. I don't really think that I care that much about the projectile nullification because it just doesn't seem slow. It's really slow. Let me see how slow. One of the apps already has frame data, which is so cool. Frame data for SF5 already has them. So V-skill is 15 frames. Yeah. You know, I don't expect to use this as a projectile killer very often. I think I might use it like this more. Let's see. Like, you know, build a little bit, something like that. Alright, so you can do that. Again. Is that important? I don't know. I've tried it as an anti-air, and I don't really believe in it. It's just slow. That's all. Whereas like this is 8 frames, you know what I mean? Let's see, Roundhouse is, I think, a little slower than that. Oh, it's also 8 frames, actually. He's got faster tools than that. But, you know, it exists. We'll see. But it would be swag, I agree with you there. Yeah. So, I mean, if some Ryu player is on the other side of the screen throwing a projectile, then yeah, just get some meter. But, again, is that going to happen very often? I don't think so. Anyway, yeah, I really like this character.